Welcome all to this video. Today I took the Sentry out to the range for the very first time. I slapped on the old trusty bipod, took the Diabolo test back and went to see which pellet are the most accurate out of this rifle. So let me just quickly explain how I went about in doing this test. I filled the rifle to 2800 psi and only shot until 2400 psi, after which I refilled back up. So I kept the rifle in that 400 psi range to try and be as accurate as possible. Then I started off on the lowest power setting number 1, testing all 7 different bullets, shooting 5-shot groups in an indoor 25-meter range. Then I dialed to power setting 2 and repeat the process and so forth until I shot all the bullets, except for the Monster Jumbo. Someone at JSB had a bad day in the counting department because my test pack only contained 26 pieces. So I weren't able to shoot the last group. Spoiler alert, the Monster Jumbos performed so poorly, one more group wouldn't have changed the outcome at all. So you can see the results next to me on screen here. And if we take a look at the bottom part of this test, let's say from position 11 to 35, we note 3 of the pellets already falling out of the equation. Those are the Jumbo 5.53 millimeters in 15.89 grain, the heavy Jumbos in 18.13 grain, and then of course the Monster Jumbos in 25.39 grain. I think the problem is that this rifle is struggling to stabilize the heavier bullets in flight. That's being said for the heavy and the Monster. I think the 5.53 might just be that little bit too wide of a bullet, since it's being 0.01 millimeter larger than the other. But again, I'm no PCP expert. So, which were our better performing pellets? The first one that performed much better was the RS Jumbo, the Jumbo 5.51, the Jumbo 5.52, and then the Jumbo Express. So after shooting all the groups, really trying to work my trigger control, work on my breathing, putting as much accuracy from my side in this rifle as I could, we ended up with our top 10. So when you look at position 4 to 10, you will notice that the Jumbo Express in position 4 on power setting 5, the Jumbo 5.51 in power setting 3, and then the Jumbo 5.52 in position number 6 with 15.89 grains as well in power setting 3. So those are honorable mentions since they all have a 9mm. So the group sizes are mentioned center to center using an app called Range Buddy, which you can get in the App Store. It's really a nice app if you quickly want to be able to calculate the group, your group sizes while at the range. So which were our best performing pellets? Since the Jumbo 5.52 performed actually position 1 and 2 in the preliminary tests, 5.52 will then go as our winner in this category. The Jumbo Express, second, shooting 2 9mm groups in both power setting 2 and 5, and then the Jumbo 5.51 was the third best performing bullet. But unfortunately, I only had 3 bullets to shoot a second group, as there was a miscount in the test pack once again. So I decided to use the best runner-up, which is the RS Jumbo. So I went and shot 3 new groups with these pellets, 5 shots again on the best power settings it was tested preliminary with. So I shot the RS Jumbo first, and I shot it once again on power setting number 1. As you can clearly see from this group, it is quite a good group. nothing to be ashamed of. Then I shot the Jumbo 5.52. So as you can see with this group size, it's an 8mm group size for the Jumbo 5.52. So then I shot the Jumbo Express, keeping the rifle on power level 5. Now I must mention here, when I set to power level 5, I weren't able to cock this rifle. So I slowly, quarter turn at a time, dialed back until I was just able to cock the rifle. And that's what I used as power setting 5. Looking at the rifle, it's probably about 4.5 or maybe 4 3/4. But let's just write it out and say it's power setting number 5. So this group from the Jumbo Express was clearly the best group of the day, with a 4mm center to center spread with 5 shots. But we have to compare apples with apples. How much of this 4 and 6 centimeters between the best 5.52 and the best Jumbo Express was the shooter instead of the rifle? So I will call this a tie. Another thing to mention, currently in South Africa, I phoned all the shops and checked all the online stores, and there's no way I can find Jumbo Express pellets in stock. But my local store has a very large quantity of the Jumbo 5.52 available for me to buy. But if we look at all 4 groups shot by the 5.52 and the Jumbo Express, we will notice the point of impact is almost exactly the same. So, according to me, there's not a real big difference in using either one of the two. If you change between the 2 pellets, you won't even have a point of impact shift to worry about. So I've shot a few PCPs, and some of those from real name brands, as one should say. But I really think this rifle held up its own today. For me, anyone who's thinking of buying his first PCP or her first PCP won't go wrong with buying the Sentry. Thank you very much for joining me in this video. I hope you get the best out of your PCP. And if it's a Sentry, I'm sure it won't disappoint you. God bless.